Ayan, hello po.
Good evening po.
Naniniwala ka bang dapat isuko si Bato sa ICC?
Naniniwala po ako ethically tsaka po dun sa nakalagay din po
Okay.
sa ating constitution. By the way po, salamat po sa
Okay.
pag-alot po sa pag-akyat. Ang una-una po, kung atin pong titignan yung ating constitution, di ba po naging member tayo ng Rome Statute, if I'm mistaken, 2010, correct me if I'm wrong po. Tawag po dito. Isang mga nag-push niyan si Trillanes. Tapos po, di ba meron tayong Rome Statute, although hindi na tayo member ng Rome Statute, hindi na tayo member ng ICC, yung Rome Statute applicable pa rin siya sa atin dahil nakaakma din po siya, di ba, sa Section 17 ng Republic Act 9851, which is sabi po doon, nakalagay po doon yung sa crime against humanity na may na dahil naging kasama tayo doon sa International Criminal Court, before po yun, para mas malinawagan po, yung po kasing iba na nagkakaroon ng misconception, ang akala nila ICC is a government or a private court of a government. Hindi po. ICC is an international court which, katulad po na sinabi nyo, member po siya. Therefore, it is not being held by a certain government, but it is being united, kung atin pong titignan, parang nagkakaroon po ng contradiction. Kasi po may mga nag-claim na kapag sinuko natin si Bato, pag sinuko natin si Bato, paano nawawalan tayo ng dangal yung ating bayan, the sovereignty. Kasi nga naman, may point nga naman po, di ba? Meron po tayong mga local court. Pero wag po natin kakalimutan, nabanggit nyo din po kanina, the standard of the ICC, para mag-assume sila na meron isang jurisdiction, unang-una, yung isang government ay hindi lamang wala nang kakayahan mag-function, yung kanilang tawag po dito, yung mga court.
Judicial system.
Opo. Bagkus din, kapag
So, yung
hindi
Philippines ba, hindi na nagpa-function yung judicial system?
Wait lang po, hindi pa po ako tapos. Isa pa po sa mga dahilan why ICC assume, because the government never tried na bigyan ng hustisya yung mga sa EJK, especially yung mga inosenteng bata po. Ang tanong ko po, meron bang korte sa Pilipinas na nag-tried na
Yes, meron.
i-trial yan? Alin po?
Ian De Los Santos.
Bukod pa po doon.
There were 153 cases in the DOJ. Originally, it's 350. Na-dismiss yung kalahati. And I think there was pending. In fact, nung early year ni Boying Remulla, sinabi niya nag-audit sila.
Nag-audit po sila. Kung ating pong titignan, isa pa po sa mga inasyon po ng ICC.
So anyway po, so please answer my question. I asked a question a while ago.
Sige po.
And you already made your point. So I would like to ask you, so are you saying that our judiciary is already not working?
Kung ating pong titignan,
No, so the answer is yes or no?
Hindi po kasi
ganun yung
hindi po kasi yung yung pong sagot. Pag po kasi ganun
lalabas. Ano ang sagot?
Hindi po kasi yan. Sabi mo po, tatanong mo po ako if nagpa-function pa yung ating judiciary. Ang sagot diyan depende. Isa po sa halimbawa. Depende. Okay. Isa po sa halimbawa, 2018, Imelda Marcos was convicted 12 counts of graft by illegally funneled. Nagkaroon siya ng bail. Tapos nung in-interview si Oscar Albayalde, which is PNP chief noon, correct me if I'm wrong po, tawag po doon, nagkaroon ng interview, bakit hindi na daw naresto kasi unang-una daw matanda. Nag-appeal si Mrs. Marcos, nag-appeal siya, nagkaroon siya ng bail kasi nga daw matanda na. Tapos yung under din ni President.
So because of that, wala nang justice system?
Hindi lang po, example nga lang po,
You go to your point po. I cannot.
Kasi nga po, papalawakin po natin, hindi po pwede makitid. Kasi po, katulad ng sinabi niyo kanina, you are demanding me to answer yes or no. Kasi pag sinabi kong yes or no, ang sagot ko po, no.
Okay, so no because Imelda Marcos situation and what else?
Hindi pa po tapos yun. Isa pa po, isa po sa mga example, yung matanda na na-arrest na nagnakaw ng mangga. Kung atin pong titignan, hindi po fair yung justice system po natin. Pangalawa po, impeachment of VP Sara, malakas na pang ebidensya. In fact, inakit na nga yan. Chis Escudero, yung forthwith nga, di ba, tawag po doon, iniba niya yung
Okay.
yung meaning. Ang punto
Okay.
po
Ano
diyan,
pa?
ICC has jurisdiction to us dahil po member tayo nung naganap yung mga krimen. Ano po? Ngayon, ang tanong, bakit yung ICC? Ito po, pupunting ko na kasi nasabi ko na po yung mga iba pong mga roots na pinagkukuhanan ko po ICC has jurisdiction sa atin kasi isa sa mga dahilan ay tawag po dito, hindi naman po naaano ng korte yung kay Duterte and kay Bato. Do you think katulad ng nangyari kay Bato, do you think kapag in-entertain ng ating court yung kay Digong and yung kay Bato, may mangyayari po ba? Ayun po yung ko, may mangyayari po ba? Kasi kung ating titingnan, kung may mangyayari malabo kasi unang-una hindi natin matatanggi malakas ang impluwensya ni Rodrigo Duterte sa mga korte. In fact, sa Supreme Court, kung ating titignan, majority of them were appointed by Digong.
Okay po. Anything else?
Okay po. Isa pa po yun, hindi po ba may fallacy din po yung mga sinasabi mo na parang even the DDS and the Tio Moreno.
Okay. Kasi sobrang dami mo na, no? And
Okay po,
my
sige
time
po.
to response is
Sige po.
Pero last na lang yon. Ano yung fallacy na sinasabi mo?
Kasi po yung mga fallacy po natin tinitingnan, tawag po dito. Halimbawa na lamang po yung strawman fallacy, dinidistort po natin yung mga argument po ng kabila. Halimbawa na lamang,
Like example.
for example, kapag may against kay Duterte, ang sasabihin po natin ay bayaran o kaya naman NPA.
No, that I don't do that po. You're talking to the wrong person.
Tawag dito. Na-observe ko din po. You are
No,
not.
hindi ako yon. Hindi ako ganun po.
Opo, hindi ka po
ako
katulad ng iba. Tapos,
Pag kayong ganun, kung hindi ako yung nagsabi nun, wag mong i-impute.
po kay PRRD, yung mga ganun bagay, approve ka po ba or hindi?
Does it not necessarily, as long as it is reasonable.
At least reasonable. So reasonable po na mag-distort ng information na katulad po ng strawman fallacy. If it is benefited for PRRD.
Ano nga yung strawman fallacy ka mo? Na
Katulad
inaabihan
nga po ng mga
ko.
strawman fallacy.
Like what?
Na-explain ko na po kanina,
Do I use that? Ginagawa ko ba yan?
Hindi nga po, kaya
Hindi,
nga po
hindi ako yung dapat na tinatanong mo dyan. Yung sinasabi mo, yan yung
Kasi po,
fallacious.
hypocrisy po kasi yun.
Wait lang ha. If I'm going to speak, bigyan mo rin ako ng time.
Sige po.
'Di ba? Kasi binigyan kita ng time, nakinig ako sa'yo ng buong buo.
Sige po.
Pagkatapos, pagka meron kang gusto tatanungin mo ako, pag sasagot ako, pag sumasagot ako, ini-interrupt mo ako.
Sige po.
Okay. You are the one who's fallacious here. You putting on the table certain fallacy that I am not doing. Certain action I am not doing.
Pa-explain po yung fallacy na ginawa ko.
Oh.
Pa-explain po yung fallacy na ginawa ko.
That's fallacious because it's not me.
Ano po nga pong fallacy? Ano nga pong tawag na fallacy? What is
Why
fallacy?
do I have to name it? Why do I have to name
Kasi
it?
po,
It's unreasonable. Sige, hindi fallacious. Reasonable po.
If you do not understand.
Okay, listen. Sige, hindi fallacious. Unreasonable.
How? Kasi
You do not.
Kasi
Okay.
I'm trying to
Okay,
connect.
I'm going to finish it.
Okay po.
Okay, thank you. You do not talk about something that I didn't say because that's unfair.
Okay po, wait lang po. Kasi nga po kanina.
So I think we should move on from that kasi wala mang kwenta yung part na yan eh. Ang pag-usapan natin yung kay Bato. Kasi yun yung mas importanteng part. If you want to talk about what kind of fallacy is that, it doesn't bring any value to the conversation.
Okay,
So please, yan ang misdirection. Okay? Yan ang misdirection. And it actually qualifies to some known logical fallacies that I couldn't identify right now, but it's not important. Okay? It's not important. So let me just go through your arguments as I remember it. Okay? So you are saying, you are again, okay? I think wala ka pa dito po kanina, no? When you tried to raise all the arguments about the local law and the international human rights.
Okay.
Local international human rights law. Yung RA, ano yan?
9851 po.
9851, ayan.
Opo.
So sinabi niyo na yun, hindi kasi doon kailangan required tayo mag-cooperate, kineso, ganyan-ganyan, nakalagay doon, kineso. And then, ang hindi lang niya na-mention is yung minention mo about the international law being recognized in the Philippine, yung ganon, yung theory of doctrine of incorporation. So ibig sabihin, kapag may international law and we accede to it, it forms part of our local laws. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi nun, 'di ba? Tama?
Ano po?
Yun yung sinasabi na, yun yung pinopoint out mo sa constitution natin di ba? That in our constitution, part of our constitution says that if we accede to an international law, it becomes part of our local law. Tama?
Depende pa rin.
Hindi, yun yung sinasabi mo na yun yung pinopoint out mo. Ano ba yung exactly yung pinopoint out mo sa Constitution about incorporation?
Tuloy na po kayo.
Hindi, para malinaw. I'm giving you time to clarify.
Ang pinapoint ko lang po kasi the government na wala naman nakalagay din sa Constitution na hindi pwedeng isuko yung...
No, hindi yun ang tinatanong ko po.
Alin po
Ang tinatanong ko yung basis mo sa Constitution about recognizing an international law. May mention ka nun kanina
Apo, isa po sa mga basis natin, yung unang-una kailangan member po tayo.
Okay, so hindi mo ginamit yung constitutional basis on yung incorporation na doctrine sa Constitution. Okay, I just want to make that clear. Okay. So anyway, ganito na nga itong sinasabi mo kasi napag-usapan na namin to kanina ni Yuki. Okay? At napag-usapan namin to ni Yuki, yung law na yan, yung 9851 na yan, that is a statute. Okay? Yung constitution natin is supreme. Okay? Ngayon, ibig sabihin, yung mga laws natin, yung mga statutes natin, ang initial na pag-harmonize ng statute at saka ng constitution natin is you try to make them work as much as possible. Okay? You try to make them work as much as possible. However, kung yung ini-insist mo na provision diyan sa local law na yan, diyan sa statute na yan, would violate constitutional rights of a person, yung constitution pa rin ang masusunod.
Kagaya po naman.
Kagaya ng sinasabi mo na yung na ang tawag dito kailangan maki-coordinate ng yung provision doon sa 9851.
Opo.
Yun. Na kailangan i-surrender or isuko yung kapag ka merong order sa international kineso, ganyan. Mga ganon. Okay, na kailangan isuko na. Ngayon, even if the provision exists in the local law, if giving effect to that law will violate the constitution of the constitutional right of an individual, the constitution must prevail. Okay. Yang tanong mo na yan, kasalukuyan yan na kine-question sa Supreme Court. Okay? Because there is a conflict between the constitutional rights of Bato and giving effect to the provision of the law that you are mentioning earlier on. Okay. So yung bagay na yan, it is something that shall be resolved by the Supreme Court. Okay? Of course, my side is mananalo dapat ang sinasabi ng Constitution. Hindi mo po pwedeng isurrender ang isang tao sa kahit anong body, international, whether court, tribunal, or whatsoever, or international kineso, it doesn't matter. So in my case, I do not make any distinction. Okay? Kasi ang guiding light mo dito is the constitutional right of the Filipino. Okay? It doesn't matter kung ang anyo niya ay foreign tribunal or born out of treaty or foreign court or whatsoever. It doesn't matter. I do not make any distinction. Kasi as long as the constitutional right of the person is going to be violated, okay, hindi yun po pwede. Kahit paano nyo pa winord yan. Okay? So ngayon, that specific issue is something that is going to be resolved in the Supreme Court. You have your take, I have my take, and I think that the Supreme Court is going to side with the constitutional rights of every Filipino. So yung bagay na yan, hindi natin dapat pagtalunan yan, intayin natin ang desisyon ng Supreme Court which is lalabas sa Lunes. Okay? Pangalawa, yung sinasabi mo na yung Pilipinas kasi hindi gumagana ang justice system niya. I think you are confused because you not agreeing with the decision of the court doesn't mean that the court is not working. I agree with you. Our justice system has a lot of lapses. Okay? May mga hindi talaga yung parang, kasi justice delayed is justice denied. Okay? And there is no perfect justice system in the world. That's just the reality. Okay? To a certain extent, all justice system in any jurisdiction would have certain level of corruption, would have certain level of speed. May, ano yan, kasama yan sa mga ganyan-ganyan. Ngayon, kapag kunwari merong lapses or merong mga desisyon na hindi ka nag-a-agree, hindi ibig sabihin nun, hindi na nag-work ang justice system. Okay? Hindi nag-work ang ating judicial system. Yung mga sinabi mo, like for example, how Imelda was treated, kasi sa totoo lang, talaga namang pinagbigyan si Imelda nung panahon ni. Nung sa Sandigang Bayan, warrant of arrest ngayon, hindi in effect ang warrant of arrest, binigyan siya ng pagkakataon na mag-MR doon sa kanyang warrant of arrest at nakapag-file siya ng bail. Okay? So, if we're going to follow the law strictly, Imelda could have been put in jail maybe in few days, pagkatapos after few days makapag-bail siya. Ganun dapat yung nangyari, di ba? Ganun dapat yung nangyari. Pero ang ginawa noon ng Philippine National Police, it looks like at parang inamin rin naman ni Albayalde yun na matanda na kasi, so parang hindi na nila nakita yung emergency they perhaps see Imelda not as a flight risk, so hindi na nila in effect yung warrant of arrest in an urgent manner. Nevertheless, Imelda was able to avail of the MR, filed a bail, and now her case is in the Supreme Court. Okay? Ngayon, perhaps it should have been done that way, no? Dapat nakulong siya kahit isang araw lang, ganyan, para meron naman kayong success rate dun sa ninyo, yung mga galit na galit sa mga Marcoses. But nevertheless, she's going to be released anyway. And ang ina-agree mo doon, hindi yung justice system per se, but the discretion of the arresting officer who did not treat the warrant of arrest of Imelda Marcos as something urgent. Hindi yon justice system per se kagalit doon po. Galit ka doon sa discretion ng PNP na i-apply yung warrant of arrest. Ako sa totoo lang, I do not really kumbaga parang sa akin, I do not have any strong feelings about it. But I agree with you na kung by the T yung application ng batas natin, dapat ganon. Pero yan yung mga nuance ng buhay . Yan yung mga talagang nakakabuisit . Ngayon, yung sinasabi mo like for example, yung mga pulis na inaaresto, yung mga nagnakaw ng gatas, kawawa naman, ganyan sila nananakaw at saka yung mga that's also our complaint. That is also our problem with our investigatory body, with our justice system, na dapat itong mga ito, yung mga magnanakaw, mga korap, mga ganyan, dapat talaga, kapag ka-corrupt sila, magnanakaw sila, maaresto sila. Okay? But this is not something that we're gonna get overnight. A justice system that we like and we prefer is something that we should work on to have. Okay? Ngayon, ang sa akin kasi, hindi mo makukuha yan by saying na, ay wala nang justice dito, pumunta na tayo sa ibang bansa. Because that is like abandoning your own country. If you want our justice system to level up, hindi ba dapat mag-elect tayo? Kasi sa totoo lang, yung justice system natin, it can only go so far as maganda yung mga batas mo. Okay? It can only go so far if your executive is also very very yung kumbaga parang would also respect the judiciary. Okay? Would also respect the judiciary. Ngayon, I take an exception sa sinasabi mo na, kaya ito, si Duterte, pinag-appoint niya. Actually, totoo yun. Yung mga Supreme Court justices ngayon, karamihan dyan, appoint ni Duterte. Para sabihin na yung mga Supreme Court justices ay kampi kay Duterte is a blatant, narrative to demonize Duterte without basis. Hindi nga kami kinakampihan ng judiciary. Ang bagal-bagal nga mag-decide. We did a signature campaign. Nag-submit kami 304,000 signatures and the Supreme Court is not even budging. Ang sagot lang na sa amin ng Supreme Court, okay, noted. Ganun lang sinabi sa mga signature, and these are Duterte supporters who completed the signature, who accomplished and included themselves in the signature campaign, na hindi mga natinag doon yung apat ang habeas corpus cases ni PRRD sa Supreme Court. Up until now, they weren't making any decision. PRRD said, bago siya i-arrest, sinabi niya mismo, hindi papayag ang Supreme Court dito kasi hindi ito naaayon sa batas. But what did the Supreme Court do? They sat on it. Ngayon, ito yung difference natin po. I am disappointed with the Supreme Court. I am disappointed with how slow they are doing things. But it doesn't mean we do not have justice system. Okay? Magkaiba kasi yung hindi ka nag-a-agree dun sa decision nila versus yung wala nang silbi ang judiciary. Okay, now this is where we are going to divorce when it comes to our beliefs. As a nationalist, I am going to do everything within my power to enable a speedy disposition of cases here in the Philippines, a fair court, a fair trial, a fair everything that will help the justice system to be better here in the Philippines. As a Filipino, that is what I'm going to do. Rather than going to another country, asking them, begging them to resolve our problem for us. Because as a Filipino, this is my country, this is my problem, and I'm going to resolve it with my fellow Filipino. Diyan tayo magkaiba. I never see any foreign tribunal, even ICC, to directly intrude in our justice system just so I cannot agree with what our court are doing here in the Philippines. So that's my answer to your questions.
Thank you po. Follow-up question ko lang po, Ms. Joey. Last na lang po, dalawa po. Sobrang ikli na lang po ng sagot po dito. Nabanggit niya po kanina, mabagal po yung judiciary system po, mabagal po yung judiciary system po natin. Ano po yung mangyayari if dito final yung kaso ng dalawa po ni Nanditong?
Nawawala ka po.
Pangalawang question ko po.
Nawawala ka po. Mahina yung sound mo po.
Pangalawang question ko. Narinig po ba yung unang question ko?
Unang question, kapag final ngayon yung kaso dito,
Di ba po
mangyayari?
sabi niyo, mabagal po ang ating judiciary system kasi nga po nabanggit niyo din, nabigay din po kayo ng reference. Tapos pangalawang tanong ko po, hindi po ba misconception po natin na we are asking help sa ibang government because ICC is not a government na in a sense na una government ng ibang bansa bagus ito isang international court kagaya po ng sinabi ko kanina. Hindi po kayo nagkakaroon ng misconception doon. Kasi if you're really asking help, hindi naman tayo papakialaman ng ICC kasi kung titignan po natin yung standard ng ICC, ang pinapakialaman ng ICC na hindi member, kapag yung hindi member na yun, pinakialaman yung member nila. Tayo po naging member po sa Rome Statute. Hindi po kayo nagka-contradict yun. Doon po sa sinabi niyo.
Hindi.
We are asking help.
Hindi.
Paano po?
Hindi. Kasi okay. Let me just answer your first question. Your first question is, kapag yung case final ngayon, do I think na maaayos ba yung, masasagot ba yung mga, yung pagka ngayon final yung mga EJK cases? Oo, masasagot ba yan? I'm going to answer it in a sense that in PRRD's time, nung nagkaso yung kay Kian de los Santos, I think in less than a year na convict yung mga killers ni Kian de los Santos eh. And last year it was finalized noong sa Supreme Court. So that is the turnaround of a case. Yan yung timeline ng turnaround ng case kapag kunwari nag-file ka ng kaso. So my answer is yes. And you have an Exhibit A. An Exhibit A, kung gaano katagal yan, is yung timeline nung kay Kian de los Santos. Ganon. Okay. Kasi ito, you may or you may not agree with it. Pero kasi si PRRD, hindi siya nakikialam dun sa trabaho ng judiciary eh. And we cannot say the same thing now. Yung pressure na nare-receive ng mga tao sa judiciary is so different from the time na si PRRD ang presidente. And it is affecting kung paano i-perform ng judiciary yung kanilang mga trabaho. So, pagka ngayon yan final, I do not know kung magpa-prosper. I do not know kung ano, ganyan-ganyan. Kasi depende yan sa pressure na ibibigay ng executive because our political situation right now, our societal situation right now is highly, highly politicized. Yun yung problema. Ay PRRD kasi hindi ganun eh. So, I think mas matagal yan dito. So, ang problema ngayon, dapat hindi tayo pumapayag na ipoliticize. Kaya nga dapat yan yung pinaglalaban ng mga Pilipino eh. Na wag dapat unahin ng mga politika, dapat kung proseso, dapat kung ano, ganyan, para magawa ng mga branches ng government yung trabaho nila. Okay? And that is something that we should do here in the Philippines. Okay. Your next question is...
Easily po nagkaroon ng misconception.
Ayan, yung misconception. Okay. Yung misconception. No, there is no misconception. Okay. You know, do not be confused with terminologies. Whether it is a country, whether it is a tribunal through a treaty, it doesn't matter. Okay? I believe in this. Paniwala ninyo, may residual jurisdiction. Okay? Yan yung paniwala nyo. Like I said, this matter is this matter is something that is being decided upon by the Supreme Court. So ibig sabihin, kaya nga sinasabi ko sa iyo unang-una pa lang, pagdating nga sa bagay na yan, ano na yan eh, Supreme Court na lang yung magde-decide dyan eh. It doesn't matter your stand or my stand. But since inopen mo ulit, ganito ang prinsipyo ko dyan, ganito ang paniniwalaan ko dyan. I do not believe that residual jurisdiction is something that can be legally assert. Okay? Bakit? Like I said earlier, hindi ko alam kung nandito ka pa noon, nung in-explain ko kay Yuki, yung jurisdiction doon sa Cayetano versus Pangilinan is not part of the main issue resolved in Cayetano versus Pangilinan. So ibig sabihin, yung bagay na yan is open for debate and open for challenge. And that is one that is being challenged right now doon sa mga kaso ni Bato at sa kaso ni PRRD. Okay? Now, for me, I do not believe that the residual jurisdiction is something that can be legally asserted. Because that residual jurisdiction, ito yung sinasabi ko, no, whether or not is tatanggapin natin yung jurisdiction ng ICC o hindi, is something that is dependent upon the president. It is an international policy discretion ng presidente. It is not something that can be asserted legally. Okay? Kahit pa si opinion ni ay hindi kasi nagano tayo, merong reckoning point, ganito ka, pagka ganitong time nangyari, etc. Actually, kahit pa sabihin mo na merong residual jurisdiction, kung hindi papayag ang presidente, hindi papayag ang presidente. Kahit meron pang sinasabi nyo na residual jurisdiction. Why? Because I don't think it is something that can be legally asserted because that is not in the realm of law. Okay? It is in the realm of international policy. And the international policy under our Constitution is asserted by the President and the President alone. So ngayon, yung residual jurisdiction na yan, kaya ngayon, yung Presidente mo, gusto niyang tanggapin yung residual jurisdiction yan. Ay, tinanggap niya yung for him, para sa presidente na yan, tinanggap niya yung, sige, isuko na namin to. Kasi meron na kayong residual jurisdiction sa amin ganyan. But I believe that if the president changes, because this is not something that can be legally asserted, that's my belief that's my belief, it cannot be legally asserted. Kapag nagbago tayo ng presidente, bago na naman ang policy natin tungkol dyan sa interpretation ng residual jurisdiction na yan. So yun lang po. Anything else?
Ibig sabihin po ba noon kung nasa presidente po noon, nag-wonder lang po ako, ibig sabihin ba hindi kinidnap si PRRD noon or kinidnap? Kasi po sabi mo nasa presidente pa din.
Kinidnap siya. Kasi in the process of surrendering PRRD, na-violate yung constitutional rights niya. Iba namang issue yung jurisdiction na usapin. Iba naman yung issue ng constitutional rights po. Those are separate issues.
Ano po yung na-violate na rights po ni dating Presidente Digong?
Due process.
Due process po.
Bakla po. Pag ikaw, i-deprive ang iyong liberty, okay, you need to know the reason why and the legal basis for such.
Therefore po pala yung mga nakulong na deprived din ng liberty. Hindi po ba kasama sa yan? Kapag ikaw ay may warrant of arrest.
Hold your horses. Again, let's give moment to each other. Okay? Pag nagsasalita yung isa, hindi mo kailangang mag-overlap. Okay? Para maintindihan kita at maintindihan mo ko. Okay? Okay. So ano yung sinasabi mo?
Kasi po parang nagko-contradict yung sinasabi mo po kanina. Sabi mo, kailangan ng due process. Di ba po, nabanggit mo po kanina yun. Tapos nasa president din, sabi mo kung yung residual judiciary, kung hahayaan niya na pahuli yung specific na tao kung sino man ang may warrant of arrest from the ICC.
No. Hindi ganun yung ano, hindi ganun yung hindi ganun yung kaya sinasabi ko sa iyo, iba yung usapin ng jurisdiction at saka iba yung usapin ng pag-aresto. Okay? Iba yung usapin ng pag-aresto. Okay, yung pag-aresto, meron kang mga constitutional rights na kailangan i-take into consideration diyan. Yung ang tawag dito, yung pag-accept ng jurisdiction, iba rin yun, okay? Yung pag-accept ng jurisdiction, tinanggap mo na ba na meron jurisdiction ang ICC sa Pilipinas? So, ang answer kay Bongbong, yes. 'Di ba? Yun ang answer sa kanya. So, ngayon, pinahuli niya ngayon si PRRD. Okay. Nung pinahuli niya si PRRD, nasunod ba ang constitutional rights ni PRRD? No. Okay? So, wag mong i-model yung issue ng jurisdiction at saka yung issue ng pag-aresto kay PRRD because you have two different standard and two distinct topic para dun sa dalawa na yon. So walang contradiction po.
Okay po.
Okay, anything else? So we can move on na po kasi maraming nakapili.
Thank you for enlightening me po. Ikaw yung pinaka-respectful na rinig ko na. Thank you po.
Welcome anytime. As long as hindi ako binabastos, hindi naman ako bastos.
Yes po.
Okay.
Salamat po.
Ayun. Kaya hindi kagaya ni Tito Bas na umi-entra, dami-dami pinagsasabi. Ayoko nang ganun. Mumurahin ko talaga kayo. Pag bastos kayo sa akin, bastos din ako sa inyo. Tito Bas. Kaya kayo, huwag kayong kupal. Tangina nyo, hindi lang kayong kupal sa mundo. Pag kinupal nyo ako, mas kupal ako. 'Di ba? Pero pag magalang kayo sa akin, magalang rin naman ako sa inyo. Ganun lang po ang buhay. Ayan. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Maraming salamat. Ayan. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Madam Zoe, good evening.
Hello, Wupek.
Hello. So, Madam, I've been watching you for so long now, pero conflicting talaga yung political beliefs natin, no? So, on this very same topic, kung legal ba yung arrest that was made, siguro picking up lang from the provisions of the Constitution, especially, I was making sure lang tama yung provisions, pero di ba we have a provision, kanina parang nadaanan ko that there was a discussion sa Constitution and all that. Syempre, provided there sa consting na we are to, not the verbatim, pero we are to respect or follow international law and rules. Yeah, doctrine of incorporation. So with that, and also kanina dinidiscuss mo, Madam, yung residual powers. I do agree. It depends nga sa president and meron siyang say about it. So in that regard, it doesn't make it illegal, diba? If ever the arrest will be made. And it's up for the Supreme Court.
No. Again, Wupe, kung naintindihan mo yung last na question ni teka, dun muna tayo sa Doctrine of Incorporation. Kasi yung iba yan yung sinasabi na, hindi, di ba, we respect international law, keneso. Yeah, oo, nirespeto natin yung international law. Pero yung international law, if i-carry out mo dito sa Pilipinas and it is in violation of your constitutional rights, yung constitution pa rin natin ang mag-prevail. No question on that. Okay, so yung Doctrine of Incorporation, meron yung limitation. Hindi po pwede yan na i-violate ang iyong constitutional rights. So that should settle it. I mean, mag-a-agree ba tayo dito na merong mas mataas pa sa constitution natin? Sa ating sariling batas? Hindi, di ba? Ang pinakamataas na batas natin, while our constitution recognize na ini-incorporate natin at binibigyan natin ng halaga yung ating mga international agreement commitments, okay? That kind of recognition cannot be affected to the extent that our own constitution is going to be violated. Hindi yun po pwede ng gano'n. Hindi yan unli, okay? Hindi yan unlimited. Nililimit yan ng kung ano yung sinasabi sa Constitution natin. So for example, kaya nga yung sinasabi ko yung sa humanitarian law, yung international humanitarian law na sinasabi ninyo, kahit ano pang discussion nyo dyan, kung in violation yan ng constitutional rights ni PRRD, that law is still questionable. And that is the reason why nagkaso-kaso ngayon yung pamilya ni PRRD at saka nito ni Bato sa Supreme Court. Okay? And pagdating nga sa part na yan, hintayin na lang natin yung desisyon ng Supreme Court dyan kung paano nila isa-sort out yung constitutional rights ni Bato at yung ginagamit na depensa ninyo na RA 9851, tama? Yun. Pagkatapos ngayon, yung pagkilala naman natin sa international law, wag niyong isipin na pag kinalala natin ng international law, for example, yung Rome Statute, unli ang paniniwala dyan, okay? Hindi po pwedeng unli yan, okay? Ang limitation yan is, of course, kapag kinary out mo ang iyong international obligation, will it conflict to our local laws? Okay? If it will conflict with our own constitution, hindi mo po pwedeng bigyan ng effect yan. Hindi mo po pwedeng... Kasi ang Supreme Court natin, ang trabaho ng Supreme Court natin, i-defend ang Constitution. Eh ngayon, kapag kunwari, kinary out yung international law in the violation of our own Constitution, di ibig sabihin, ang kinampihan ng Supreme Court natin, foreign laws. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Wupek. Okay? So, wag nang ipilit yung mga ganong bagay. Okay. Ngayon yung second mong question.
And siguro, madam, doon na lang tayo sa better argument, I think. Kasi, ayun nga, minamention mo yun. But, parang somehow...
Sorry,
yeah.
Wupek. Sorry, Wupek. Yung sinasabi mong contradiction, ano yun?
Hindi. I mean, syempre, di ba, I'm sure based din sa mga previous videos mo, you studied law as well. So nakita ko naman na, 'di ba, up to us, it's just what you've mentioned right now, hindi naman written it's just your position at the moment, and of course we will wait for the decision of the court about it. Siguro second, yung sinasabi mo not unlimited. Provided, di ba, na we signed the Rome Statute and etc., it was discussed sa ating public international law, yung Pacta, I don't know if I remember the Latin term, Pacta Sunt Servanda something, that we are to all means abide dun sa mga pinipirmahan natin na treaties. With that argument, would you agree
it's
that we're gonna be holding it? Kasi hindi naman siya...
Magkaiba siya, Wupek. Yung Pacta Sunt Servanda, yun yung obligation ng Philippines as a contracting state, as a party state, doon sa mga obligation natin. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin yon na i-carry out. Okay? Kung nag-ano tayo, ganyan, nagkaroon ng pact, so ibig sabihin, nag-agree tayo kung ano man yung pinag-agreehan.
Hence the Rome Statute, di ba?
Oo. Pero again, yung Rome Statute, yung pag-agree, yung pagbigay ng effect doon, kasi nasa residual jurisdiction na tayo di ba? Yung residual jurisdiction, yung hindi na kasi tayo member di ba? So wala nang pacta. Okay? Wala nang pacta.
Pero ang in-argue okay. Sorry to interrupt
wait lang.
lang.
Let me finish, Wupek.
Okay, sure.
Let me finish. Okay. So ngayon, wala nang pact dito. Ang natira na lang dito, ini-insist namin na meron pa kasi hindi ka na nga member. So pag hindi ka na member, wala na talaga yarn, okay? So ngayon, it becomes an issue of an international foreign policy. So ngayon, dito sa Pilipinas, and I think both of you agree with me on that point, na discretion na yan ng Pangulo. Yung kung ire-respect pa niya yung residual jurisdiction or not. Okay? And pagdating doon, depende na talaga sa president yun, kung anong trip niya. Kung nagising siya isang araw, hindi, gusto ko i-respect yung yung international. Kasi ganun nga yun maganda yung explanation dito ni Alan Peter Cayetano Kasi kung sasabihin mo na merong residual jurisdiction ang ICC, ibig sabihin sa ICC, pwede niyang buksan ang kahit anong international humanitarian issue sa Philippines before tayo umalis sa ICC. So ibig sabihin, yung ICC can also investigate on the mass cave, ng mga pinatay na mga NPA, yung mga pinatay na mga yung mga human rights violations sa mga babae na namumundok na ginagawang parausan ng mga kadre, yung mga ganyan, o 'di ba? Gender-based din yung ibang mga kaso ng ng ICC, ganyan. So ngayon, if you are going to say that lahat ng mga international humanitarian issues, international human rights issues, lahat ng human rights issues na they can categorize as yung kasi kagaya niyan, puta, magre-recruit pagkatapos tsuvahin lang ng mga kadre sa kahit hindi gusto ng mga babae, hindi sila makano, yung mga ganyan. Yan that's a basic human rights, you consent, di ba? That's a basic human rights. Ganun, and that's a deprivation of the rights of the women na umakyat ng bundok. Na bakit kan parang obligasyon namin na magpa-torjak kay kapitan, kay ang pangalan nito, kasi sino ba ang tawag nila doon sa kadre nila, kay o whoever, ganyan, ba't obligasyon ko bang magpa-torjak dito, ganyan. Okay, so ngayon, pagka hindi yung pact kasi na sinasabi mo, kailangan mong i-carry out. Kung nag-agree tayong dalawa, ikaw si Nation A, ako si Nation B, meron tayong pinag-agreehan, we carry it out. Pero ngayon kasi hindi naman na tayo member eh. Di ba tayo member? So, saan mo uhugutin yung pact? Yung pact na survanda doon. Di ba? Wala.
I saw some
for me, yun nga, position ko to, okay? Position ko to, yung part kasi na discussion na to, I think it is something na i-sort out ng Supreme Court. Pero for me, yun ang position ko dyan. You may agree with it, you may not agree with it, wala namang problema dyan. Pero yung residual jurisdiction, hindi na yan matters of pacta sunt servanda.
You know, what the argument on pacta sunt servanda would be on the part na we would honor the things that we agreed on, diba?
No, not anymore. Wala na, hindi ka na member nung
ang argument
hindi ka na member nung ICC eh.
Ang argument, madam, nung ibang mga abogado dyan, sinasabi nila, we left not sure about the dates to 2019 ba, and the case was filed 2017. So they're arguing na it was filed prior to when we left the Rome Statute. That's what they're arguing.
And I do not believe them. Yun nga, kasi nga, for me, pagka ginawa mo yung ganong klaseng argument, you are basically opening the Philippines to scrutiny of an agency, of an international organization that you do not believe in. So parang sa akin, wala na pakta-pakta dyan, umalis na ako, break. Wala na yan, di ba? Wala na yan. So parang sa akin, hindi na ako nag-a-agree doon eh. Kasi matter of sovereignty na yan eh. Matter of sovereignty na yan. Matter of assertion of your independence na yan. Yeah. So parang for me kasi, kapag ka nag-agree ka dyan sa ganyang position na hindi, meron pang residual jurisdiction, you are opening the Philippines for any scrutiny that happened before 2019. I don't like that. I don't like that. You're basically parang in effect, parang hinahayaan mo sila na meron na to throw tae on your country in their kung ano man yung trip nila na gawin sa buhay eh. Kung isang araw magising na lang sila, pagkatapos merong country na bad trip sa atin, tapos sabi nila, hindi, bayaran kita ICC, investigahan mo yung mga NPA dyan sa Pilipinas na may mass grave. Diba? Hindi yun tama. Sa akin, yung ganong klaseng pag-iisip, hindi siya assertive of our sovereignty.
Pero kasi ginawa natin batas eh.
Hindi siya batas.
Hindi, I mean dun sa special law na sinasite natin.
And
it was provided that if there's an ongoing investigation, 'di ba?
Hindi nga eh. Ang tawag dito, it's still yet to be it's still yet to be sorted out.
It needs to be sorted out, diba?
Yeah. So, yung batas na yan na sinasabi mo kasi, under the pain of being, being declared unconstitutional eh.
But it's a law anyway, diba? So, doon lang naman nagagaling yung argumento. And for once, in my position, no, I don't like where this is going kasi it sets a dangerous precedence na anytime they could, diba? ICC could just enter your country and the likes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
That's
yung mga
where
yung
that's
mga
where I'm coming
nag-i-insist,
from.
oo, so yung
Pero
mga
as
nag-i-insist
yeah.
ng, ay, sorry.
Yeah. Pero as to the argument nga nung legalities, right now we have that law. Pero if I'm gonna be asked if I like it, I don't. So, and I think I'll give way to other people who are in line. There are a lot. Thank you so much. And ayun, bystander
Thank
na
you,
lang muna ako.
Mupi. Thank you. Maraming salamat. So yun, anyway, C. Hello, C.
So may gusto lang po ako i-topic. Clarification lang po siya. Pero to answer your question do sa una, I will not agree na basta-basta lang kunin si Bato. Pero yung dun nga sa gusto kong maging topic lang ngayon is about sa due process tsaka dun sa jurisdiction ng ICC. So mag-start muna tayo sa sa due process. So kasi kanina ko pa naririnig yung RA 9851 ba yun? RA 9851, especially yung section 17 kasi binasa ko yung article na yung kanina sa Google, and ang nakalagay dun mismo sa section 17 is yung mismong host country hindi siya basta-basta magpapasa ng kanyang people sa international kasi dadaan pa mismo sa due process na meron yung
Correct. Oo, may actually meron siya kaalisabayan na provision din. Tama ka diyan, maganda yung point mo, si ano. Maganda yung point mo. Even in the 9851, I remember discussing this with SAS, na even with that provision na ginagamit nung mga nagsasabi na hindi lawful yung pag-surrender, etc., etc. Kasi even that, it has to be validated by our own court. Basahin natin yung section 17 para ma-refresh yung ano mo. Ayan. Jurisdiction. The state shall exercise jurisdiction over persons, whether military, civilian, suspected or accused of a crime defined and penalized in this act, regardless of where the crime is committed, provided any of the following condition is met. The accused is Filipino citizen. The accused, regardless of citizenship or residence, is present in the Philippines. The accused has committed the said crime against Filipino citizen. In the interest of justice, yeah, I remember this. I remember reading this sa live namin ni SAS. In the interest of justice, the relevant Philippine authorities may dispense with the investigation or prosecution of a crime punishable under this act if another court or international tribunal is already conducting the investigation or undertaking the prosecution of such crime. Instead, the authorities may surrender or extradite suspected or accused person in the Philippines to the appropriate international court, if any, or to another state pursuant to the applicable extradition laws and treaties. Ito yung ginagamit noong mga naniniwala na dapat isurrender na si Bato. Yung next article niya, Section 18, the regional trial court and the Philippines shall have the original and exclusive jurisdiction over the crimes punishable under this act. Their judgment may be appealed or elevated to the Court of Appeals and to the Supreme Court as provided by law. Okay. So ibig sabihin, yung mga kaso dito, kung merong mga investigation or whatsoever na ginagawa sa ibang bansa, pwede na raw i-dispense yung investigation dito. Pero yung mga investigation na yon or whatever cases na meron dito, mangyayari lang yon kapag kailangan pa rin ma-determine ng court kung ano yung magiging fate ng kaso na yon. That's how I understood it. But anyway, wag na tayo masyado magpaka-technical dyan kasi ayoko may masabing mali. Hayaan na lang natin yung mga abogado yung mag-explain yan further pagdating dyan sa bagay na yan. Pero naalala ko lang kasi the reason why I said so, naalala ko meron kami kasing live discuss about this. Wherein, na-discuss nga namin yon na even if yung mga kasong ganito, nangyari dito sa Pilipinas at pumasok dun sa conditions na yun dun sa jurisdiction, ang magdedetermine kasi ng jurisdiction, Philippine court pa rin eh. So yun. Ayun, section 19 sinabi nito. Puntahan natin section 19. Hindi yun. Separability clause lang yung section 19 eh.
Opo, pero kasi nakalagay doon mismo, hindi dadaan mo na siya sa process ng local court. So,
dapat.
Iangat po natin siya ng konti, doon na tayo sa Supreme Court. Kasi ang nakalagay mismo doon sa Bill of Rights, especially doon sa Section 1, is dadaan muna sa where the due process, yung mismong tao. Kasi ang sakop ng Pilipinas, ang jurisdiction niya is yung tao lang niya. Hindi na siya sasakop sa ibang bansa. So, magkakaroon lang siya ng jurisdiction sa tao niya. So, yun lang magkakaroon ng due process. So, ang nagiging ano kasi dito is parang hindi nagkakaroon ng due process yung kay Bato. Kasi parang ang nangyayari, dumidiretso na agad
Oo, hindi, wala talaga yung due process yung kay yung kay Bato. Ayan. Okay, hello kid.
Hello, hi po.
Hello, ayan po. Ano po kayo, naniniwala po ba kayo na dapat i-surrender si Senator Bato sa ICC?
Yes.
Okay. Bakit po?
Yes po. Kasi ano po, yung time na yun na nung si Tatay Diggs pa nung president, I think year 2016, under pa kasi tayo ng ng ICC doon. Tapos yun po.
Napakinggan mo
Sabi-
ng discussion sa residual jurisdiction, kid?
Hindi pa po. But,
Pangatlong beses na namin diniscuss yung residual jurisdiction na yan. Wala na, break na tayo. Hindi na tayo miyembro. So pag hindi na tayo miyembro, it becomes a discretion of the president whether gusto niya na mag-under tayo ng gusto niya na i-apply pa rin yung orders ng ICC o hindi. So ngayon, yung sinasabi mo na member pa rin tayo, kineso, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos na last discussion, okay na siya. Anong bagong gusto mong idagdag?
wala na po yun. Yan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you po. Thank you. Bye.